Hello and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and today is Sunday, July the 21st. Almost done with July. We have one more chat in July, so that'll be awesome. But hello and happy Sunday, everybody. I hope you all are having a fantastic week. We have been dry here in East Tennessee, and we finally have some rain. Oh, it is so welcome. Let's see. It is just sprinkling out there right now, but it was finally enough rain that we did not have to water the garden tonight. So yeah, John called or texted and he said, yep, have enough that the garden is good to go. Casey's water bill will not be double again this month, hopefully. But anyway, welcome everybody. If you are brand new, please let us know because we would love to say hi and hello to you. If you are not already in our If You Have an Egg Facebook group, one of these nice ladies will share that here in just a few minutes, and you will be able to head on over there after the chat and join. And if you would like to watch this later, it will be on demand here in a few days on YouTube, and that is just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. Hello, Melissa. Good to see you. Hello, Mary from Pittsburgh. Hello, Elaine. So it's been a busy week here in the showroom, and hello, Marianne. And what I'm making for the second half smells so good again, but it is so stinking easy. And hello, Sarah from Raleigh, from Raleigh, yeah. And hello, Debbie. Let's see, there was Orlando Debbie there. And who did I miss? Hello, John from Home Base. Wait till you smell this. It smells so good. Actually, you're eating this tomorrow night. Yeah, so no lunch for you tomorrow because you will be eating this tomorrow night. And hello, Sandra from Demons Ferry. Good to see you. And yes, it is Raleigh, Massachusetts. Did you notice I hesitated on that? I knew that it was, but I hesitated for just a second. And let's see, hello, Sherry. Hello, Anna. Good to see you. Hello, Cynthia. Haven't seen you in a minute. Hello, Carol Lou. Good to see you. And Carol Lou, the pictures of Peanut at the Pickle Festival were fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing those. That was so sweet. And you're exactly right. Alyssa would love that. Yeah, she would be like over the moon at the Pickle Festival. But again, hello and happy Sunday, everybody. This is chat number 373 here on July the 21st. Sunday, July the 21st. Hello, Carla. And telling you, first of all, these speed demons need to slow down. But anyway, I'm telling you, it already smells so good in here. It smells so good in here for the second half. You're going to want to hang out. The second half is so easy. It is so easy. And thank you, Sandra. But it is so easy. You're all going to want to make this. And what makes it even better is that it's, let me see, I think most of the ingredients are out of the garden. But anyway, so yeah, the second half is smelling really good, and it's heading in a completely, completely different direction. And thank you, Orlando Debbie, for sharing the link over to the Facebook group. Remember, if you go to join the Facebook group, you need to answer those 3 questions. Otherwise, I can't let you in. I had to turn down a couple of people that looked like they might be nice, but you never know. Okay, this is Sunday, July 21st. Again, you can watch this later on demand here on Facebook. You can go to www.ifyouhaveanegg.com. Check it out there, or you can go to YouTube, search If You Have an Egg, and you can find all of this there. Not gonna lie, Casey and I are about, let me think, 5 recipes behind, but we're down to a 2-person team now with the cutbacks. So we're just doing the best we can. Yeah, we're just hanging in there. But anyway, so hopefully we will get some of those posted soon because they are scrumdiddlyumptious, whatever, and I want to share them with you. A little bit of news for this week of July. This is the last week of July. First thing is there is no challenge with Julie over on the If You Have an Egg Facebook group. Sorry, ladies, but due to unforeseen circumstances, we need to let our hostess catch her breath. So Julie is, and Sarah, I'll tell you about those in a minute. But due to unforeseen circumstances, she needs to catch her breath. She needs to get caught up. School for her starts here, I think in just a couple of weeks. So thank you for your understanding. Thank you for your patience. But she has opted out. Hello, Hattie. She has opted out of this week. And I completely and totally understand. It was a volunteer position anyway. And she was the one that volunteered. So totally understand. And I know that everyone will be so understanding. Maybe y'all could start your own little challenge, like in honor of Julie's rest week and the week that we need to give her some, a chance to rest and recuperate. Yeah. And for all of you teachers that are getting ready to go back to school soon, so sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, so we're going to give her a little bit of rest. So that was the first little bit of news, was don't go running over there to find the challenge. It ain't there, okay? But she's so funny. She was so apologetic about it, and I was like, seriously? You do this on your own free time. Absolutely no reason to apologize, okay? And hello, Lynn. Good to see you. Second little bit of news, that Amazon Prime Day it was 2 days, oddly enough. Anyway, that was last week. And if you missed my Amazon Prime post, I am so sorry. I was a day late and $1 short. Little did I know that I was going to have problems before Microsoft started having problems on Wednesday morning, which was the second day of Prime Day. Some of those savings, not quite the Prime savings, the big Prime Day savings, but some of those are still available. If you want to go check that out, that is already posted on www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And I had just posted 10 of my favorite things for Prime Day. Whether it's Prime Day or not, there's still 10 of my favorite things. So you might want to go check that out. Last but not least, in a little bit of news section, so this is week 2 of the Bioma Probiotics trial. So I was chosen to be a tester for them, and it's no weird thing. So it's not like I'm not going to grow a third arm. I'm not going to have any, like weird side effects or whatever. This is literally just something to help get my gut, back into alignment. So this was week 2. I've been taking it for 2 weeks, and it is Bioma, B-I-O-M-A, Bioma Probiotics. Things are still going well. And, oh, hold on a second. Sandra says her husband's birthday, 68th birthday, is Tuesday, and her granddaughter's birthday is July 31st. Good heavens, well, happy birthday, everybody. That is awesome to have them that close together. You should have been born on the same day. That would have been even cooler. But things are still going well. Some more noticeable changes with the unnatural bloating. So I don't know if you know what I mean, but unnatural bloating to me, I was trying to explain it to Karen today. It's like if you overfill up a balloon with water or something, it's just not a natural bloated feeling. It just feels forced, like extra water or something in Aloha Kathy. So I've noticed more reduction in the unnatural, and hello Sylvia, and happy early birthday to you. But I've noticed more results in the lessening of the unnatural bloating. And I'm telling you, I have made more number 1 trips to the bathroom in this last 2 weeks than ever before. This is total TMI. I mean, 100% TMI. So any guys besides John, sorry, we just have to talk about stuff here. Yeah, normally I go before I leave the house. I go maybe once while I'm here at Casey Kitchen Center, and then once more before I go home. It's like every dang hour and a half. But the good news is that unnatural bloated feeling is going away. Like I can tell it's really reduced. Like my Apple Watch is not super tight anymore. It just feels, I don't know, like a reduction in water. And the scale says that I was holding on to 2 extra pounds in water. That's literally the only thing I've done any different is to take the Bioma probiotic. And I can tell you, flushing all this extra water out, it's real. I mean, so when your gut is out of whack, when you've got from here to here, when from here to here is out of whack, your body has a tendency to hold on to that unnecessary water, and it is real. So that is a real thing, holding on to that water. So the scale says that I'm down 2 pounds from the water, from getting rid of the water. And if you're following this journey and want more information, I will be posting the details of that later in a completely separate link from the chat. But I also they have given me now, since I've made it 2 weeks, they've given me an affiliate code. And if you use the affiliate code, if you want to try it out, and do not rush and go do this, if you want to hang out and see, how it continues to work for me. But if that was a product that you wanted to try, we will post their website. It's Bioma Health, and we will post their website. I'll post it in the comments. And then Casey will obviously also be posting it when she posts this chat on www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And it's for gut health, but it's really helping me get rid of this like unnecessary bloat. But if you use our code, you'll save 15%, plus you'll get free shipping. Again, we'll share that code later, or we'll share the website later, but the code is EGG, EGG15, so like egg 15. And let's see, Sylvia says, what are you using? I had back surgery Monday and I am so full of fluids. It is Bioma, it's from Bioma Health, B-I-O-M-A Health, and it's their probiotic. They have a lot of other products, like they've got a fiber, they've got several things, but I needed something for my gut health, and I had tried a couple of other things, and they were okay, but this one, I'm really feeling good. Okay, so we will share more about that later. That is the end of the little updates for this week, and the little notes and news and reviews for this week. Now I need to know who set their bottom in a chair this week. So I went to an in-person workshop or did a virtual workshop this week. Let's see some thumbs ups for that. By the way, Alyssa loved being with you all last week, to the point that it's like hard to get her to not come, for every chat, because when I say loved, she loved being here, and she so loved doing her recipes. And those are two of the recipes that Casey and I are behind on. Anyway, trust me, Alyssa reminds me every day that I haven't posted them. Anyway, so yeah, thumbs ups if you went to an in-person workshop last week, or if you did a virtual workshop. Yeah, Marianne's bottom was in a green chair again. Awesome. And yes, Melissa and Ann, I saw both of you all there, so thumbs ups for that. And then hearts if you were here with us live last week and saw Miss Alyssa and her 2 recipes that she shared. And again, she had so much fun, and she ate, let's see, after we got off, it was 9 o'clock, and it was like already an hour past her bedtime. She ate the entire rest of the watermelon sorbet. She ate the rest of that, and then she ate another piece of the watermelon pizza. Awesome. I will let that girl eat as much watermelon as she wants to, but bravo stickers for everyone who did an in-person workshop, a virtual workshop, or was here with us last week. Yep, bravo. Okay, last week was chat number 372, and we were talking about how to respond to unhelpful thoughts. And I have to tell you, during the chat, when I called myself a dummy, Alyssa was sitting just on the other side. Where I am is like a peninsula at work. So this, like, our farm sink is over here, our stove is over here. Hello, Marlene. And there's like a seating area over on this other side, and Alyssa was sitting over there sort of patiently waiting for her turn. Not super patient, but sort of patiently. Hello, Joycelyn. And when I called myself a dummy, just as the example, her head just about snapped off of her neck. That is exactly how we should feel. That's exactly how we should feel when we're calling ourselves dummies, okay? We should be, our heads should just about snap off of our neck if we start talking about ourselves that way. So last week we were talking about when that little voice is like, you're so dumb, you can't do this, you might as well just give up, blah, 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 blah. You need to see it for what it is. It's just back talk. It's just unnecessary back talk in your own head. So when it starts revving up, it's time to shush it, okay? First thing to do is just name it. Just say what it is, It's literally just a little voice back talking to you. Second thing was to do a reality check, and the reality check, I wanted you to say, whatever the situation was, if your voice is saying, you're dumb, you're stupid, you can't do this, whatever, just say, hey, little voice, got 2 questions for you. The first one is, what are the facts to back up what you just said? Because the first thing was, you're dumb. And I noticed I didn't say stupid with Alyssa here, okay? I said dumb, which even still just about took her head off. But when her mom was little, we did not say stupid. That was just as much of a bad word as some of the other bad words that I'm not going to say. But the fact is, I'm not dumb. The fact is, I'm not lazy. You're not either. The fact is, I can do this. I've proven that I can do this. So, hey, little voice, where are the facts to back up what you're saying about me? And then the second thing is to ask yourself, really? Would you say that to a friend? Would you say what you just said to yourself to a friend? And then we talked about releasing our inner critic, and that was to listen to. I wanted y'all to listen to the Release Your Inner Critic walk talk that is on. It's on your WW app. Maybe we'll give some extra credit if you do that. So this wasn't your homework, but who actually took? I think it's 8 minutes. Let me think. 28 minutes. Sorry. Who took the 28 minutes and listened to that? Just give me a show of hands if anybody took the 28 minutes and listened to it's a walk talk on your WW app, and it's the one that has beautiful Brooke Shields' picture on there, and that one was called Release Your Inner Critic. So I'm just curious if anybody actually went over and listened to it. Okay, while y'all are thinking about that, your homework for last week was it was #little voice check, and what I wanted you to do was whatever that little voice was telling you, I wanted you to ask yourself those 2 questions. Where are the facts? And then would you say that to a friend? So here's how y'all did. When the little voice in Sherry's head says, do you really want to do this forever? This is like forever. Do you really want to do this forever? Sherry plugs her ears and says, na, 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 and she shuts that voice up, okay? She shuts it down, and she says she would never, ever say that to a friend, ever, and I believe her. Lynn's pesky little voice tries to tell her that she's not good enough. Hey, Lynn's little pesky voice, I got news for you. It's not true, okay? It is not true. Lynn is an amazing survivor. She is a breast cancer survivor, and now she is a huge support system for her son. So guess what, Lynn's little inner voice? She's more than enough. She's not just enough, she's more than enough, okay? So you need to zip it, just zip it. And then Anne's little voice, and I can just see it because Anne's sweet little face when she was typing this to me, her sweet little face, I could just see her pesky little chit-chatty voice that's in her head is exhausting. It absolutely wears her out. And she's so cute. If you ever get a chance to meet her, she's just this little blonde, like I could just stick her in my pocket. She's so cute. But it's exhausting. You know, you can't do this. You're not. But I have seen that smile on her face on Tuesday nights. Okay, little voice, Anne's little voice. She can do it. I've heard her get so excited about Zumba. I have seen her pumping up her friends that sit at her table. I've seen her reports on doing squats like there's no tomorrow, okay? Anne's little pesky voice, zip it. You need to hush right now. Okay, so bravo to everyone who got their homework done last week. And if you didn't do your homework, I hope you'll at least think about it, because I think it's really important that you talk back to your little pesky voice, and we're gonna do it again tonight, okay? So tonight, for the second half of the first half, so this is like the 1.5 half, and yes, she absolutely is Melissa, and Melissa is one of her table mates, so she knows too. She knows what I'm talking about. So tonight's topic is 3 questions to ask yourself, so that you can stay on track. If you need to see the printed version of this, this is on your WW app, or it's not printed, but like the visual version. Like not just hearing me talk about it. If you go to your WW app, and then you on that home page, if you go to where it's your little picture, it's whatever your little icon is. I kind of did like the little 3-line thing better just because it looked to me like a drop down. But anyway, it's where your icon is, and if you touch that and scroll down and go down to Discover Content, and then go to the topic, 3 questions to ask yourself to stay on track, you can see the Weight Watchers visual version of this, which was really good. But I need to know, have you ever been sitting at a drive-thru, or maybe you were getting ready to go into a restaurant and you knew exactly what you were going to get? You'd already decided, maybe you'd even already tracked it, you'd already looked up the points, you've planned it. You planned it before you ever pulled up or before you sat down, and then this happens. It happens. You hear a voice whispering in your ear, guess what? The French fries are hot and extra salty today. They are. You hear that little voice. It's that pesky little voice. It's those pesky voices again, okay? But fortunately, Weight Watchers has 3 healthy questions that you can ask yourself again this week. And here are some pro tips that go along with those questions. The first one is, what are my thoughts right now? So when you hear that negativity, stop. Just kind of stop and listen. What are your thoughts really telling you in that moment? So in the hot French fry moment, that would be me. I realized we all knew that hot and extra salty, that comment wasn't real, okay, for sure, because, I mean, fast food, there is nothing hot and nothing extra salty about it anymore, okay? Or it's extra salty in a bad way, not in a good way. So the reality was that those thoughts were more likely, everybody else gets fries, why do I have to eat that stinky salad that I had already tracked? You know what I mean? So think about what your real thoughts are. Your real thoughts are right then in that moment. The second question they want us to ponder is, how then do those thoughts make you feel, like really feel, and how does that impact your journey? In the fry scenario, how did it make me feel? It made me feel weak. It made me feel like a loser. It made me feel like, well, here we go again. Kelly's just gone off the rails because she had tracked a salad, and I wouldn't even get a salad at McDonald's, but you know what I mean? Whatever it was, here we go again. Kelly was going to get, or maybe it was Wendy's, and Kelly was going to get, I was going to get, chili and a baked potato and a little side salad, and I had already tracked it. But here we are. We're off the rails again because we got French fries instead. We got French fries and a Frosty instead. And it makes you feel It makes you feel dumb. It makes you feel like a loser. It makes you, that little voice sometimes can make you feel like just not ever going to get this done. Can't make a good choice. What, fill in the blank. And we all know, or at least in my case, we all know that those feelings lead to a pity party, which in my case leads to a, well, I might as well go get more soggy, not extra salt fries. Okay? Just might as well, because I've blown it now. Then the third thing is, Weight Watchers want you to ask yourself, but how can I shift this story? Obviously, the French fry scenario has not just happened to me one time. It's not happened to me 2 times. I'm 57 years old. It's probably happened, I don't know, what's 50? Well, I didn't start watching my weight at 7, but let's say 30 years times at least once a month. So that's at least 360 times that the French fry scenario has happened. So how then can I shift that story? Okay, so life happens. It does. It just happens. But you don't have to let it happen to you. Life can happen with you, but it doesn't have to happen to you. So the French fries didn't force themselves into my car. The French fries, like the person didn't come to the window and go, sorry, we've got our soggy French fries today. I cannot give you your chili, your baked potato, and your side salad that you already tracked. Sorry, can't do it. Here are these French fries, and wish me the best of luck. So life didn't happen to me. So to shift my story, I could have done any number of things, and I have done these things. Doesn't work every single time. I'll just go ahead and warn you. But when I stop and think about it and think, oh, whoa, this is getting ready to get out of hand, Kelly. Slow down a minute, slow down. Here are a couple of things that I've done to kind of shift my story, kind of shift it in a different direction. One thing is, sometimes I get the fries, I count them, and I move on, okay? Sometimes I just get them. I do it, and then I count them, and then I think, okay, well, that's done. Got the fries. Let's go ahead and track those. Let's take off the other things that I didn't actually eat, track the fries, and let's move on to the next meal. That's one way you could shift the story, because let's face it, if I eat them, I eat them. Whether I track them and admit that I ate them or not, or if I just feel guilty about it and go hide, I still ate them. Okay, they still count. The second thing I could do to shift that story is to get the fries, and then if they're not as hot and if they're not as extra salty as advertised by my brain, I could just throw them away. It's French fries. If they're not as good as my mind, as my mind had advertised, because it was saying, my brain was saying, hot, extra hot. And they're going to be so hot, you're barely going to be able to put them in your mouth, and they're going to be extra salty today. Yeah. So if they were not as advertised, throw them away. You don't have to eat them. There's no law that says that you have to eat them once they've crossed that threshold into your vehicle. There's no law that says that you have to eat them. So I could just throw them away. I could just realize, and I've done that. I've gone, no, these were not good. Nope. Chuck, and just throw them away. And another thing that you could do to shift that story is, and I do this all the time. I did this at the grocery store today. Remember that I have fries in the freezer at home and here at work. So I keep bags of either Orata, or I cannot remember the other brand that I keep, but it's in a brown bag. Oh man, I wish I could think of the brand because I really do like it. But I just tell myself, hey, whoa. Go ahead and get your chili and your baked potato and the salad. Go ahead and get that, because remember, back at the showroom or at home, you've got frozen French fries in your freezer, obviously, because where else would you keep frozen French fries but in your freezer? You have fries in your freezer, and if you spritz them with a little bit of olive oil, put some nutritional yeast on them and a little bit of ranch seasoning on them, pop them in the air fryer. Oh my gosh, without even adding any salt, or you could add a little bit if you wanted some, but I could go home and make them in the air fryer, and they'll be so super hot, so super crisp, so fresh. No weird kid that just started there that morning has handled them. Only my hands have touched them. They're so super hot, and I can make them as salty or as ranchy or as whatever flavor as I want them to be. Talk about shifting your story. I'm dying for French fries right now. And Ann says, ordering ahead in the app excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Ordering ahead in the app has helped her. Oh yeah, then it's already ordered, it's already paid for, and it's harder to change my mind. That's exactly right. So, Ann, guess what? You just did your homework for this week. So, extra ahead of time credit for doing your homework, pre-doing your homework this week. So, Ann, who's done her homework, and everybody else, your homework is #ShiftThatStory, and I'm going to spell it very carefully and say it very carefully. #ShiftThatStory. #ShiftThatStory. Because I know you've been there before. I know you have. I've been there like every day. So I know you've done this. I know that you know what I'm talking about. Pick your fry scenario, whatever that is, and it doesn't have to be something at the drive-thru. It could be anything that you think, hey, whoa, stop, just stop. I need to slow this down and I need to shift this story. Okay, you need to shift that story. So pick your fry scenario and then tell us how you're going to shift that story. So it is, and thank you, Lynn, for posting that. Thank you for carefully spelling that also. So #ShiftThatStory. #ShiftThatStory. So, and like Joycelyn just said, she's never been a fast food junkie like McDonald's or Wendy's. You'll have something else. There will, I promise, there is something else that's going to pop, that's going to come to mind, and you're going to think, yeah, okay, I've been telling myself that. It might not even be food related, but #ShiftThatStory. Do your homework, do your homework, do your homework, because I want to brag on you next week. I also want to brag on y'all next week about what we are making in the second half, which is in 3 minutes, or it can be now. It can be now if we want to do now. Okay, that was the first half of chat number, and I've already forgotten the number, 373. So if you are brand new, you've got 372 other chats that you can go back and watch over on YouTube. That's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg, or 372 other chats that you can go find on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. Yeah, so you should go do it. If you are brand new, these are 1 hour long, and they average an hour long. So the first half, we talk about whatever the classroom portion of the prior week's Weight Watchers meeting was, and then in the second half, it's usually fun, it's usually interesting. Yeah, so we're gonna get going because it smells so good. I want to finish making it. First though, we're gonna get some water, and Sandra just reminded me, so this is the only time each week that I know that you drink some water. I'm gonna admit, I don't know if you can tell or not, but this is, Karen and I got finished walking 5 minutes before it started pouring down rain. Finally today. The humidity, no kidding, has been like 105%, if it can be over 100. But this started pouring right after we finished walking, hair and clothes actually. So I am watered out. I've had more water than I can stand today. So I'm actually, you all grab some water, you drink some water. I am actually drinking an Arnold Palmer diet, half and half. And it is iced tea and lemonade. So it's half iced tea and half lemonade. And it even has little Arnold Palmer's picture on there. These were on sale for 79 cents at Kroger today, and it's 0 points. So normally I would not be drinking this tonight, during a chat, but I am telling you, I am watered out. Even though we needed the rain, phew, I had to have something different. So everybody grab your water real quick. Go ahead and get you something to drink. Okay, and I will get ready to start the second half. New people, you will know if you go to watch these on YouTube, if you go to watch these videos on YouTube, you will know when the fun is getting ready to begin, because that's when the apron goes on, okay? And also, if you're gonna go ahead and watch the whole thing, if you think, I just need to skip to the second part, you'll know that because Casey does divide these up. The whole hour is the whole hour. And then the second half is divided out as kind of like an extra credit. Actually, we call it extra credit, EGGSTRA, extra credit. And when the extra credit starts, is what I have on the apron. If you'll notice, I am wearing the darker colored apron tonight, just in case, because I did get splattered earlier Luckily did not get it on my white shirt, but I did get splattered a little bit earlier when I was working on a little bit of this, so that we would have I would have enough to actually show you. Okay, y'all know. So this is the second half of chat number 373. You all already know, if you've been around for any length of time, you already know we are back in a house again. Well, we're in a camper, but we have a yard again. The yard just happens to be Casey's, and we did a raised bed garden. Well, we were a little bit late getting started, so I am just now starting to really harvest my vegetables. So all of my friends who had gardens, they're all already like getting ready to start their fall gardens, and I'm just now harvesting, but a lot. It's like all coming in at the same time. Harvesting things from our garden. So we did a raised bed garden. I'm going to tell you a few things, because what we're going to make is so easy and it's so fast that I'm going to bore you all for about 9 more minutes before I actually start making it. So some things that I've learned about the garden. A, you don't need to plant mint in the ground. Yeah, so I know that now. B, my cilantro died. I am not, this is like the 5th time that I have tried to grow cilantro inside, outside, front porch, in a window, not in a window, in a garden, in the ground. It always dies. It always dies. So if anybody has any fantastic cilantro growing suggestions, please let me know. This try, we planted it in the raised bed garden. It looked like a perfectly healthy plant and it was a plant, and it looked like a perfectly healthy plant when I planted it. And by the time it went down, like by the time I just finally gave up, it literally looked like little teeny tiny trees. Like, it looked so stalky, so it looked like little teeny tiny shoots of bamboo with like no leaves, and then it just finished dying. I mean, it was awful. And Debbie says hydroponic. I don't know, you'll have to tell me how to do that. But anyway, so I had to buy cilantro for what we're making tonight. So that was one thing that I learned. Second thing that I learned, I did not know this, but peppers are apparently perennials. Did anybody else know that? I did not know that. So for the 3rd year in a row, I've planted peppers in a raised bed garden, and they've only done so-so. I don't know why I won't just give up. I don't know why I won't just give up on this. I try it every single year, and they're always just kind of so-so. This year, though, I actually am getting a few small green peppers, and apparently I had planted some that would turn colors, and I got excited because it was actually a pepper size and shape, and I picked it before it started turning red. So anyway, but I did find out in that process that peppers are perennials. Pepper plants are perennials. That's hard to say. That pepper plants are perennials. So it's been suggested that when I take them out, instead of just like covering them up like I normally do after the season, that I actually move them to a bucket or a pot, and that's a whole nother long story. But anyway, that I do that and try to take them inside somewhere. So I'll see how that works, okay? And I'll keep you posted on that. So let's see. I was going to tell you about the cilantro disaster. I mean, cilantro is a disaster. What else have I not been good at growing? The corn is hilarious. So I only planted 6 things of corn. I'll just keep buying my corn at the store. That was hilarious. My green beans are just doing so-so, but apparently I am the master gardener, which I know everybody is, of grape tomatoes, Roma tomatoes. My Roma tomatoes are huge. We're not using them tonight, but they're like that big. I've never had Roma tomatoes this big before, but Roma tomatoes, grape tomatoes, and I promise you, now that they're starting to turn red, like I'll pick some and then I'll turn around and more will be red. It's like they're ripening while I'm standing there. Cucumbers out the wazoo, zucchini, yellow squash, a few more of those patty pan squash, of the custard squash. We've had just a couple more of those. I think though I had to trim back the leaves on the zucchini because I think they're covering the custard squash and not letting them grow. And I have now planted what I'm considering my second summer crop, because here in East Tennessee it is going to still be hot. It will still be hot the rest of July, which is just like another week or so. It'll still be hot in August. It'll still be warm enough in September. and it'll be time to start picking some of these things in October when it finally starts cooling down. But I went ahead and planted 2 different kinds of eggplant. Alyssa started some more cucumbers because one of her zoo camp teachers made them a cool system, which I'll have to show y'all later, to grow cucumbers. So she has started another round of cucumbers, and we've started some okra. So I'm really super excited. I've never done okra by myself. Obviously, you all will be following along to see how that's going. Okay, so all that to say, so all those words later, we are making salsa, woo-hoo-hoo, or as Alyssa calls it, salsa y salsa, because it's on one of the movies that she watches. There's a restaurant on there called Salsa y Salsa, which is just salsa and salsa. Anyway, it's one of the Minions movies, and she loves it. So we will be making salsa y salsa, and we are having it tomorrow night. Casey is making, she is making taco salads. Alan has got to get his diet on track. He's going to be having some minor surgery, and he has, anyway, he's got to get his glucose under control. So we are making a concentrated effort to have not no carb, but a little bit lower carb, a little bit better for you cuts of meat, some fresh vegetables out of the garden. So we are all working on that. So Casey is making taco salads tomorrow night. She's already got all the lettuces that she needs. She's got, let's see, she got light sour cream, she got ground chicken, I believe, and she got some Mrs. Dash no salt taco seasoning. So she's getting all that part ready. And I'm providing the salsa, also providing tortilla strips. So that Fresh Gourmet that we've talked about several times, Fresh Gourmet, these were on sale at Kroger this week, 2 for $5. So I went ahead and grabbed both of them for our taco salads. I got these Fresh Gourmet tortilla strips, and this one is the tricolor tortilla strips. And then this one is the Santa Fe style. 2 tablespoons is 35 calories. And I know y'all are going to ask me about sodium, so hold on. The sodium is 30 milligrams on this one, and only 15 milligrams on the tricolor. So we'll be adding these to our taco salads for just a little extra, just a little extra bit of fun. But let's make some salsa. Okay, so you're going to need either a blender or a food processor. And I have a little tiny food processor, but it is the little tiny food processor is plenty to make about this much as one serving. So if you just need it, and I'm telling you, oh man, here we go again. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Here we go again with the smell-o-vision. Smell that. That is, I could stand and smell that all night. That actually smells better than the licorice that me and niece did. Okay, so this size, this little food processor would make, it makes a little bit more than this size jar. So I'm gonna make 2 batches so that I can finish filling up this pint-sized jar. Now this is, let me just make a disclaimer here. This is fresh salsa, okay? What we're making tonight is fresh salsa. This is only going to last about a week, maybe a tiny bit more than a week in the refrigerator. This is not canned salsa. Lily and I will be trying to do that on Saturday. So we'll be making more salsa, and then we're going to break out the digital pressure canner and try to actually can some salsa. But when you make fresh, you need to eat it in about a week, maybe a week to 10 days. The lime juice and the little tiny bit of the little acidity from the tomatoes is the only thing that's giving you that at least full week to get it eaten. But honestly, the way it smells and how easy it is to make it, just make it. Just make fresh, okay? You can freeze it, but just make fresh, okay? So it is 8:40. So according to my clock, it is 8:40. And we're going to see how fast it is to make it. I am also, hold on, let's see, Debbie said I made ground beef enchilada skillet for this week's meals. And it had, oh, you've got to send me that. It has tons of zucchini, corn, poblano peppers. Oh, so good, so good. So speaking of that, Debbie, we're gonna put in this salsa, we're gonna add zucchini. So you can add whatever you want to. You don't just have to have jalapenos and tomatoes. You can add whatever vegetables you want to. So we're gonna do, we're gonna add some zucchini, and all of the vegetables that I'm adding are fresh out of the garden. So fresh, as a matter of fact, I picked them this morning before church. So here we've got, I don't know, 3 or 4 slices of zucchini. I'll put another slice in there just to fill up that side. You can put regular peppers in there. You could put yellow squash if you wanted to. But yeah, you can add anything you want to. It doesn't just have to be tomatoes, and doesn't have to just be tomatoes and jalapenos. The nice thing about using vegetables out of the garden, out of my garden, is I don't use any pesticides. I don't use any bug spray. If there's bugs, there's bugs. I know, Lynn, I've got to get these recipes caught up. So do you all want me to post, so when we get done with this tonight, do you all want me to post the salsa recipe first? Or do you want me to post one of the ones that Alyssa did? Or, I mean, what should I post first? What are y'all more likely to make? Salsa, maybe? But anyway, the nice part about using these out of my own garden, again, I don't use any pesticides. I'll let the bugs be bugs. If it's an inappropriate bug, like if it's a bug that I don't want in my garden, I just take care of their eggs and get rid of them, and don't make a big deal about it, okay? But I don't spray anything. So I just rinse them off. And go. So I've got zucchini, and then I was talking instead of showing. I have zucchini, and then I had, what did I chop up? Like maybe 5 or 6 of these tomatoes. These are just grape. They're just grape tomatoes. They would be a giant grape if it was actually a grape, but maybe 6 or 7 grape tomatoes. Then I am gonna add, these are the little tiny, okay, so these are the jalapenos out of my garden. Look how small those are. They're so small. They're so stinking small. And Alan has, who is it that calls it a milk toast belly? There's somebody on here that says they have a milk toast belly. Alan does, so I'm going to take out part of the membranes with the seeds. I'm not going to let it have quite as many because we don't want to burn him up. If you're going to do this by hand, if you're going to take the little membrane with the seeds out by hand, please make sure that you do not touch your face. I know that doesn't bother my skin, but like, see the white membrane and the seeds, that's the hot part. If you are sensitive to hot things, you can wear plastic gloves to do that. But if you're not going to wear gloves, please do not touch your face until you've washed your hands, okay? So there will be no touching of my face. Okay, we're going to leave a few, and I know y'all can't see me right now, but we're going to leave a few of the membranes in here just to give it just a little bit of spice. And let's see, Sherry says, I was in an appointment, I will watch replay. Oh yeah, okay, Coral Florida, hello Sherry. So we're gonna add here, let me chop these up a little bit more. So we're gonna add the jalapenos, and I've stripped the seeds and the membranes out of one of them, and then I left a little bit from the second one. If you want less spicy, take out more of the membrane, take out the white part and the membrane. If you want kind of medium, do like I did and do 1 and 1. No, and I'm touching my glasses and I'm not touching my face. And if you want hot, just leave them in there, okay? Then we're gonna add to that, and see, and I feel like I'm moving really fast and it's not gonna take that long to finish. I'm not chopping up garlic for this. Spice World squeezed garlic is totally fine, and here is my exact measurement on that. Are y'all prepared for this? Blech. So just a bleh of squeezed garlic, or you could mince up a couple of like real garlic cloves. You could mince up a couple of those, and you're gonna need some onion. Oh, this was the other secret I was gonna tell you all. So I went ahead and confessed about, because we still got plenty of time, I went ahead and confessed about the cilantro, about killing every cilantro plant I've ever had. And you know what? I'm going to come back to confession stand time. I'm going to wash my hands real quick, just so I don't accidentally touch my eyeballs. So give me just a second. you know how it goes. I'm not planning on touching my eyes, but as soon as I don't wash my hands, then I'll need to touch my eyes for some bizarre and strange reason. So anyway, so confession time was that I've killed numerous cilantro plants. I don't know why. I don't know what happens, but they die. Second confession, or next confession, I don't cut my own onions. Never, ever, ever. I've tried everything. I've tried the cracker between the teeth. I've tried cutting them under running water. I've tried wearing glasses. I've tried wearing sunglasses. I've tried every, it was kind of like the hard boiling of eggs. So if I find one that works, I will definitely shout it from the rooftops. But for now, I buy my onions already chopped up. So we're just gonna add, and I prefer red onions to white onions in this, just for the flavor. So we're gonna add just whatever your, kind of, not tolerance, but whatever your, however much you, however much you like in onions, we're gonna add. So mine was probably about 2 tablespoons to this size food processor. And then we're gonna add the juice from half of 1 lime. So you're literally just gonna squeeze that. You're gonna squeeze half of a lime. And put that in there. And what am I looking for? What am I looking for? Oh, salt. We're gonna do just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. Oh, excuse me. We're gonna do a tiny bit of sea salt. So I'm gonna use one of my grandmother's measurements here. I'm just gonna put it in my hand. That's maybe a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon. And this is, I'm going to take this opportunity to mention, this is one of those times that Orlando Debbie talks about using, when she's talking about using regular lids, not canning lids. If you've already used, so like I'm using mason jars, I'm using ball jars. I'm actually not using mason jars because they're not Mason brand, they're Ball brand. But anyway, so if you're using glass canning jars, these kinds of lids with the ring, totally fine, because this is fresh salsa and you're going to eat it within a week. You can reuse like a pickle jar, you can reuse a salsa jar, you can reuse whatever kind of glass jar you want to, but because you're not canning this, you can use the lid if you've already used the lid, like if you've already used this to can. Once this has been, what would you even call that, Debbie, pressurized? Once this has been pressurized and that little click down to pressurize it and can, you cannot reuse this. So these are a single use, you cannot reuse it for canning, for pressure canning. So these are a single use lid when you're pressure canning. Once it, goes down for the pressure and then is popped back up, this ring is worthless for pressure canning. But you can use it all day long for things like this, because this is fresh salsa, again, that you're going to put in the refrigerator and you're going to use up hopefully within a week. And it smells so good, I think you're going to use it before the week. Okay, let me get one more drink real quick. Now this is where you're either on Team Kelly or you're on Team somebody else. I like, once the ring has been compromised with pressure, I like all the cilantro. So give me, and that's why it hurts my feelings so much that I kill cilantro plants, because I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so I've got quite a bit of cilantro in there. I've got a few slices of zucchini. I've got some halved grape tomatoes, and you do not need to peel these. If you want to use a different kind of tomato, you can. I like the grape tomatoes because I like my salsa chunky, and this makes it chunky because it's a firmer flesh. It's not that kind of mealy, flesh with a lot of seeds on the inside. It's got some onions, a bloop of garlic, some cilantro, and the juice from half of a lime. So let's get this on. Let's get this on my on this. And remember, this is just the little one. I don't think I got this at Kroger or somewhere. I got this little tiny food processor at like Kroger for like $12 or something. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got a lot of Team Kelly. What, Sandra's never had cilantro? You've never had it? I'll just warn you, you will either love it or hate it. There is no one in between. There's literally no one in between. It's literally love or hate. Okay, we're gonna make some noise, so I'm gonna pulse it. Pulse, pulse. You're not gonna unless you want like pureed salsa. We're gonna pulse. Okay, and some of the cilantro is trying to stick to the top, so I'm gonna use my spoon and just poke it back down in there a little bit. Oh, that smell. It's so good. And I like my salsa chunky. I don't know about you, but I like mine chunky. Okay, so that's it. That's all I'm gonna pulse because I definitely want mine to be chunky. If you don't have, yeah, Debbie's exactly right. For people who don't like salt or don't like cilantro, it's because they think it tastes like soap. You do not have to use the cilantro in this recipe, okay? That's just remember I said there's, you know, you can do whatever you want to. I highly recommend if you're going to be making something like this that you go ahead and get one of these. This is a funnel for canning. But if you'll go ahead and get one, even if you're not planning on water bath canning or pressure canning, it comes in great. Comes in great and handy for moments like this. So here is our salsa, and hopefully y'all can see this while I'm pouring it in. Oh, that smell. Oh, and it's so pretty. It is so, so pretty. Oop, and actually I've made enough to more than fill the jar. Oopsie. Oh yeah, so that's gonna be plenty for us. Okay, yeah. Oh, Carol, that's a great idea. Carol says she uses parsley instead of cilantro. So I don't have any chips or anything to try this with, but I'm gonna go ahead and just try it because now I've talked this down to about 7 minutes. But for the record, even with me talking, what did that take to make? 10 minutes? It took me like 10 minutes to make it. Okay, so here's a little try of this. Oh, so yummy. So fresh. If you can possibly, if there's any way possible, if you've grown these vegetables, even better. But if there's any way possible to buy this when it's in the peak, the peak of freshness, like at a farmer's market, go over to your neighbor's house and steal some zucchini and some jalapenos and tomatoes. Absolutely fantastic at the peak of freshness. This is why I have a garden, okay? If for no other reason, if we don't make anything else, which we have, but if we don't make anything else out of the garden or eat anything else out of the garden, this is the reason to have a garden. Whew, now if I could only grow cilantro. Okay, that is it. And hopefully, fingers crossed, Casey and I will have a little time to get caught up. Like I said, it's just the two of us doing this now, and we don't have any help. So yeah, so some days it takes, you know, we just have to pick our battles. But I will really try to get this posted soon. But I hope you all enjoyed this. And by the way, this would be 0 points. 0 points. You can put that on chicken. Again, we're going to do taco salads, but chicken, fish, fish tacos, chicken tacos, pork tacos, carnitas, so many things. And you can make it as hot or as not as you want. This one is just barely, it's not even hot. Because again, Alan has that, what is it? Milk tummy or whatever. But I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I will try really hard to get the recipe posted. If you need to go back and watch this though, and just grab those ingredients and write them down yourself, you can go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. It will be on there in a few days, and you can go to YouTube.com and search If You Have an Egg, and you can go back and watch this. So I hope y'all had a great evening. If you were watching this on YouTube, please remember to go ahead and let that next video roll over, and then click on that subscribe button and go ahead and click the little bell so that it will let you know when the next video comes up. But I hope y'all had a great time. I did, and So excited. Cannot wait to try this. But y'all have a great evening, and I will see you next time. Good night.